Welcome to the Oasis. My name's Mike, and today I'm going to be talking about an article from Bloomberg which dropped this week detailing some supposedly leaked information about the next Oculus Quest headset currently in development by Oculus. Now, nothing has officially been confirmed, so treat this as rumor at this point, but I thought it'd be interesting to go over some of the details of the article and give you some of my thoughts on the specs, the release window, when it will be announced, what this means for the future of the Oculus Rift, and also, should you wait to buy the next Oculus Quest if you're new to VR and you're looking for a VR headset. But before we get into that, I wonder what the next Oculus Quest will be called. Will it be called the Oculus Quest Pro, maybe the Quest S, or maybe Quest 2, or even this? Let me know what you think the next Oculus Quest will be called in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your suggestions. I hope you're all keeping safe and well, and without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so first let's start off with a bit of a history lesson, because the Oculus Quest was in development for a long time. I remember as far back as Oculus Connect 4, way back in October 2017, when Oculus were giving behind-the-scenes demos to some press outlets of a new early prototype headset in development, which was codenamed Santa Cruz. Then, a year later during Oculus Connect 5 in September 2018, Oculus unveiled the official name of the Santa Cruz project, which was Quest, and they provided pricing and a release window of spring 2019. For all of us desperately waiting to get our hands on this headset, it was a long 8 months until both the Quest and Rift S released the following May. Now, it's been clear since the Quest's release that it's been a huge success for Oculus, despite not having any official sales numbers. Now, I know ratings and reviews aren't an accurate reflection of software sales on the Oculus Store, but just look at the difference between Rift and Quest reviews on the store page for the recently released Oculus exclusive Lies Beneath. The difference is pretty staggering and is a good indication of the difference between software sales on the Rift and Quest platforms. Mark Zuckerberg himself recently stated during Facebook's Q1 2020 earnings call that non-advertising revenue for Facebook had reached $297 million, which was up 80% year on year, which he said was primarily due to the sales of Oculus products. Zuckerberg went even further to say that the Quest had surpassed their expectations and they wished they could make them faster. So now, just over a year after its release and with its success, I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that we're getting bits of information about Oculus building a new Oculus Quest. And personally, I'd be happy with a new headset every 2 years, as the technology is constantly evolving. But let me know what you guys and girls think of that in the comments below. So the first leak about a new headset in development was actually from Oculus themselves, as a new device appeared in the Oculus developer portal page codenamed Del Mar, with reference to a new controller design codenamed Jedi. And then this week, Bloomberg wrote an article claiming to have a source close to Facebook stating that they were working on multiple potential successors to the Quest. So before we get into the details of the article, I just want to say that if you've bought a Quest recently or you're still waiting for them to be in stock, I wouldn't worry. I don't believe that there's any chance you're going to be locked out of any content. It's just going to be a case of the games will look and run better in the new headset, and the headset itself will have some improvements in its design. But just like with the Oculus Rift S, the new Quest will share the same store as its predecessor, and the original Oculus Quest will still be a great headset for years to come. So no need to worry there. So now that's cleared up and we're up to speed, let's get into the details of the article, starting with when the new headset is likely going to be announced and released. The article states, Facebook originally planned to launch the new model at the end of 2020, around its annual Oculus Connect conference, but the coronavirus pandemic could delay the headset from shipping until 2021. I'm surprised from this information that they were planning to release the headset this year, as historically with the Oculus Go, the Quest, and the Rift S, the announcements are generally made at Oculus Connect, with a release the following May, which coincides with the new financial year, so my guess is that is what we're going to expect from this new headset. Announcement at OC7, release next May. So if you're planning or waiting For the new headset, I would say at this point, you've probably got another year to wait. The article then goes further to say some versions in testing are 10 to 15% smaller than the current Quest. That, in addition to being lighter, makes them more comfortable to wear. The existing model weighs about 1.25 pounds, which is too heavy for some users wearing the device for extended periods. The models in testing are closer to a pound. Now, personally, I'm glad to hear this, as I think the number one criticism from the community about the Oculus Quest is that it's quite front-heavy. Now, this can be resolved and eased with some products from companies like VR Cover, but most consumers out there won't bother to do this. So a newly designed head strap is likely making weight distribution more balanced, with further hints from the article at weight saving by stripping out the fabric used to surround the Oculus Quest, which, in my opinion, gave it a premium look and feel, but goes completely unnoticed when you're actually wearing the device. While Oculus are redesigning the head strap, I'd personally love to see a return of the built-in earphones from the original Oculus Rift CV1, but I think that's highly unlikely, and they'll probably just stick to the audio channel design of the current Quest. Whilst we're on the subject of comfort, the article states some models of the new headset in testing also continue to have a physical switch for adjusting interpupillary distance, or IPD, which is the distance between the headset's internal displays. This is great to hear, as the lack of an IPD adjustment dial made the Oculus Rift S an unusable device for some people at either ends of the IPD spectrum. So keeping this feature is important to make the headset as accessible to as many people as possible. The article goes on to talk about the headset's refresh rate. The updated refresh rate of the new Quest VR headset is at least 90 Hz, up from the current model's 60 Hz for movies or 72 Hz for most VR tasks, making video and games appear smoother. The company is testing some Quests with screens capable of displaying up to 120 Hz, but the company could cap this at 90 Hz to preserve battery life. Now, the difference between 72 Hz, 80 Hz, and 90 Hz is pretty minimal, to be honest, but when you get into 120 Hz and 144 Hz, which is possible with the Valve Index, the experience is noticeably smoother. The problem with running the Quest at 120 Hz natively is that it will have an impact on the battery life and heat generation. So personally, my theory is that they'll stick to running the new Quest at 90 Hz in standalone mode, and then have the option to boost to 120 Hz when connected to a PC using Oculus Link. I think that would be a really, really nice feature. So while we're likely getting a bump in refresh rate, I think a bump in resolution is probably unlikely, as the Quest already has a decent resolution of 1600 by 1440 pixels per eye, which is comparable with what we have on high-end PCVR headsets like the Valve Index. To push the newly touted higher refresh rate and make the overall user experience smoother and faster, I think it's likely the device will have a faster chipset and hopefully takes advantage of the recently announced Snapdragon XR2 chip from Qualcomm, as this effectively doubles the performance of the current Quest's Snapdragon 835 chipset. The article also mentions newly designed controllers, which were previously referred to as Jedi controllers in the Oculus developer portal. The article states, Facebook is also working on a redesigned controller that is more comfortable and fixes a problem with the existing controller, which has a battery cover that sometimes slides off. The new controller will be compatible with the current Quest. Now, I've always liked the Oculus Touch controllers, and I think the thumbsticks are the best in any VR controller right now. However, the battery controller does slide off when playing intensive games like Beat Saber. Now, I use these grips from Mammoth VR to prevent that, and links to those are in the description down below if you're interested in checking them out yourself. But hopefully this will be more of a refinement of the design with a better designed battery cover. I'd also like to see the addition of individual finger tracking in the grip, which would put them more in line with what Valve are offering with the current Valve Index controllers. Interestingly, it also suggests that the controllers will be backwards compatible, meaning that they'll likely be available separately as an upgrade for those who already own an original Quest or Rift S. It doesn't seem like the design of the 4-camera placement for tracking will change, but to be honest, the Quest's Insight tracking system has rarely let me down. The article states, the headset in testing have 4 external cameras versus 5 on the Oculus Rift S, and 6 degrees of freedom, which lets users look around in any direction and walk through virtual space as they would in reality. The new model will also still support the Oculus Link, a cable that lets a user connect the headset to a PC for improved performance. So just like the current Quest, it will be able to utilize Oculus Link to be connected to a PC to provide PCVR experiences. Although it would be nice for the Link cable to be included in the box, I don't think this will happen, as only a small percentage of consumers also own a VR-capable PC at this point, and the cable being fiber optic makes it expensive for Oculus to produce. So that's all the information we know so far about this new headset in development from Oculus. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is all just rumor and speculation at this point, and we'll have to wait until Oculus Connect 7, which is likely going to take place in September as a digital event, for any official announcements. But news of new hardware from Oculus always gets me excited, so I thought it'd be fun to talk about it in this video. But what out of the supposedly new features that I've mentioned in this video excites you the most? Personally, I think any improvement to comfort is a big win in my book. As someone who spends a lot of time in virtual reality, comfort is a priority for me. But I'm also really excited to see these new controllers and see what they have to offer. But aside from that, another big question from me is, what does this mean for PCVR? Will this new Oculus Quest be the one headset from Oculus to rule them all? Or will there also be another Rift in the works? Because let's be honest, the Rift S, although it was a nice step forward, wasn't the leap in technology we all wanted. I would love Oculus to make a super high-end PC headset packed full of new technologies such as eye tracking, varifocal displays, and wireless technology. But at this point, I'm just not sure that's going to happen anytime soon, as it's clear the market just isn't ready for that yet, with consumers wanting easily accessible and standalone products without the requirement of a PC. But of course, let me know what you guys and girls think in the comments down below. I love reading your suggestions. Leave a like if you like this video, make sure you're subscribed for all my future content, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.